About the Olympics, when you played the Olympics.
The Olympics, in 2008, it was my first experience, in Beijing, winning the gold medal. I think I was just kind of in awe, of the experience in itself. 2012, I kind of knew what to expect. I don't know where you're going with the Olympics. You speaking to Gino? What do we? Oh, no. Okay. We can't mention that here. My bad. I'm sorry. Can't say his name. No, it's fine. No, it was a great experience. It was different, playing and representing your country on that type of stage. I think it's kind of. I still haven't taken in and grasped that experience. Everybody asks me where my gold medals are. They're underneath my bed in a box. I don't know quite what I'm going to do with them yet, but it was good to be there with another Lady Vol catchings in 2012 and to experience that. Mm-hmm.
Since you brought up the Gino thing.
I knew it was coming. What did she say?
Oh, since you brought up the Gino thing, how did that go? Just tell us anything more.
No, it's he's a good coach. He really is. It's I think anytime you're on a team, it's an adjustment process to adjust to a new coach, new team, new expectations, trying to figure out your role and figure out where you fit in. And he's back in 2016. We just had a training camp in Vegas before I was going overseas, and we sat down and talked about expectations and things that he expects of me to bring to the 2016 national team, and I'm ready to fulfill those obligations.
Candace is a former season ticket holder for the Los Angeles Sparks. I'm ready for another championship.
Oh, yes, me too.
2002.
I know.
And it seems that we're awfully guard heavy. Do you know what Carol Ross is thinking about with the draft coming up after the season? What we're going to look for?
Well, I think we're definitely going to address a lot of different things. I think we need a couple more shooters. I think to space the floor. Defensive 3 seconds definitely helped with the spacing, so it's not so cluttered in the paint. But I think definitely adding more shooters to our roster, as well as a little bit more size, and just kind of being able to go with different looks, whether we want to go with a 3-guard lineup or whether we want to have some size when we play, the Phoenix Mercuries and the Minnesota Lynx that are bigger on the perimeter, for sure. But we're trying. We're trying to get there. We're working hard, and, I'll tell you that.
What's the biggest difference between playing overseas and playing in the WNBA?
Well, playing overseas, it's a different game. Everybody can shoot. I mean, you have 6'9" girls that just want to go out and shoot threes, and they can. I think it's a little bit slower, and it's not as fast paced. It's not as pick and roll oriented. Like the WNBA, a lot of players, it's more pick and roll, but in overseas, it's team. It's team basketball, and there's a lot more travels called. They say people in the States travel a lot, so they call it a lot on Americans, and I'm guilty of getting a lot of travel calls. Yes. Oh.
Outside of basketball, what was your best experience here in Tennessee?
Outside of basketball, what was my best experience? I would say just attending the football games, tailgating on Saturday. That's what I miss. Sometimes I didn't make it to the football game because I really don't like the big crowd, but I definitely was in the locker room watching it on the couch. But I made it to the tailgate every Saturday. Yes.
Candace, we read a lot about transition from high school to college. For you, was it a big transfer from college to the pros? Or as big as a transfer?
I would say, well, the biggest transition, because from high school to college, you're going into a different life. You have a schedule. You have things that you're expected to do. You're learning new scouting reports. You're learning schemes. Like in high school, we didn't have a scouting report. You know, we didn't know whether we were going over or under screens. It's just like, just do the best you can. You know, when you got to college, you know, we had ways that we were forcing people. This person doesn't like to go right, so you're gonna force her left or force her right and things like that. So, but I would say the game is so much faster and more physical in the WNBA. I had the opportunity to play with the USA national team in college, so I think that prepared me a little bit. But when I got to the WNBA, I realized how physical it was and how much stronger I had to become, because it's a physical game for sure.
Candace, we watched you in the national championship in Tampa with the shoulder. How close were you to not being able to play? I mean, was there a time maybe when you thought, I can't do this?
You know, it's really funny because when I went to Tampa, I expected to play. You know, I had gotten the MRI the night after the game that it happened, and, you know, they told me I tore my labrum, and so I was like, what, you know, 2-3 weeks? They're like, no, it's 6 months if you get surgery. I was like, what? Like 6 months? Golly. But they assured me that if I braced it, I could play. And, you know, I remember we got to Tampa and we were in the hotel, and I don't even know if I've told this story, but we were in Tampa in the hotel, and it was the night before our practice, our public practice. And I was asleep, and Vicky Ball was my roommate, and I was laying in bed, and it was like the middle of the night, it was like 2 a.m, and all of a sudden I was like halfway in and out of sleep, and my shoulder just popped out again. So I'm laying there, I'm like, Vicky, don't freak out. She wakes up, oh my God, your shoulder's out, oh no. I'm like, get Jenny my motion. So she runs, I'm like thinking, call her, you know, like call her on the phone. No, she runs down the hall, she's knocking on all the doors. I'm like, Vicky, like I'm sitting there with a shoulder. So they go get Dr. Morgan, and it takes us like 2 hours to put the shoulder back in. So I'm like, at this point, you know, Coach Summitt comes in and is like, I'm not gonna jeopardize your career, you know, for this. And I'm like, Coach, I'm fine, you know, let's just do rehab. So that day I sat out of practice. So then she told me the next day, if I showed any sign of anything, like, no, you're not gonna go, because I'm not gonna jeopardize your future for this. And so, man, it hurt, but I kept a straight face and tried to show her that I was fine, and she let me play, and you know, that's what happened.
Is it bothering you now?
I had surgery on it. I tried to fight it as long as I could. I had surgery in 2010, and it's good. It's great. Thanks.
Once your career is over, or when you decide your career is over, do you have any ambitions to coach?
Coach, I should coach? I don't know. I know I will be around the game of basketball. I think I'm gonna coach. I'm fighting it, but I think eventually I'm gonna coach. I love the game of basketball, and, you know, I'm very detailed. I watch film all the time. And my brother, he's a scout for the Orlando Magic, and so I always call him when I'm watching games, like, so what do you think about this? Like this set that we run, and, you know, I'm very intrigued by plays and different things like that. So I think I'll coach.
So I heard on the radio this morning your daughter's a ballet dancer.
Yeah, my daughter's a ballet dancer. Yeah. It's funny because I thought since she's in the gym all the time, you know, like she's with her father and I all the time in the gym, like she's just gonna be, you know, gym rat. She's gonna love basketball, and we're gonna have to. No, she's watching her iPad when the game's going on, and then when the dancers come out, she she puts her iPad down. No, but she told me that she doesn't like to sweat, but she knows that if she does play basketball or sport or just in general, she wants to come to a school, she knows that Tennessee's where she's coming. She knows all the words to Rocky Top. And this summer in 2012, when this, you know, Coach K was the men's coach, and his wife brought her a cheerleading outfit, you know, and just It's cute. She hands it to her, and Layla says, "Boo, Duke," and throws it down. Sheldon wanted to kill me. Sheldon was like, "This is unbelievable." Really? I'm like, "Oh, she likes her hockey top. What can I say?" Yep. It's Layla Nicole. Yep. Sorry.
How involved in recruiting can you be or have you been with the university?
I'm as involved as I can be. Obviously it's a fine line between what's legal, and I have Donna Thomas here, so I want to make sure that I'm staying within those lines of the recruiting. No, but I'm as involved as I can be. Obviously I think when I was growing up watching different universities, I think just having players in the WNBA and having them visible is a great recruiting tool for young athletes. I remember Shamika Holzclaw, Tamika Catchings, those were my, Shira Eli, those were who I wanted to emulate and to be like. And obviously with social media now, you're able to kind of reach a little bit more people. And so as much as they reach out to me, I talk about Big Orange and make sure that they understand that this is the best place that they can choose. See, what you guys don't know about the Summit stare is the Summit shake her head. Because when she looks at you and stares, it's like you have a chance. But when she's like, when she does that, that's when you know you're in trouble. So that's yes, Layla gets that. She stops immediately. Thank you guys for having me.